Hey everybody, how are y'all doing? My name is Julian J. Walker. I am the Associate Director for Communities of Color here at GLAAD, and I'm sending you all so much love and positive vibes today. Today, I have the pleasure, the absolute pleasure of speaking with actress, activist, author, and executive producer Gabrielle Union. Oh my gosh, how are you doing? It's so good to be connected with you.
Oh, it's I'm feeling great and even better knowing that it's you on the other end. Yeah, this is exciting for me. This is very, very exciting.
Yes, it is an absolute blessing. And congratulations on such a powerful performance in the inspection. It's such an important and needed story for so many around the world. And so before we begin in the questions, I want to commend you for the work that you've done in continuing to advance LGBTQ plus conversations and spaces. Like, for examples, films such as Disney's Strange World, which is also in theaters, everyone, and Elegance Bratton's The Inspection are affording communities of color a gift that hasn't always been available, and that gift is representation. So that leads me to my first question, which is, can you tell our friends watching a bit about your role in the inspection?
I play Inez French. I play the mother of Jeremy Pope's character, and Jeremy is playing a version of Elegance Bratton, our director. This is taken from Elegance's real life time when he was put out of his home by his mother for being gay at 15, 16, lived on the streets for about 10 years, and decided to join the Marines to try to win back his mother's love and validation. And I play the mom who is, she thinks she's protecting her son by rejecting him and putting him out. And it is the most challenging role I've ever played in my career. But if it leads more parents to examine their behavior and how they treat their own children and other people's children,
Listen,
it's all worth it.
that's beautiful. You've mentioned in a previous interview that you didn't initially see yourself in this role, and so I would love for you to tell us a little bit about what encouraged you to step into the role and what was that journey like for you?
Um, when I first got sent the script, it was, to executive produce, and I thought the script was so beautiful and so beautifully written, that I was like, this is a winner. I can see how I can be additive as a producer. And Elegance was like, I also want you to play my mother.
Wow.
And, after reading the script, it's you're playing a real person.
Yeah.
And not just a real person, but the director, writer, and producer's mother, who they have a very complicated relationship that was very fraught with, a lot of pain and heartbreak and trauma.
Yeah.
And so that was like, how do I want to revisit this in his face like this?
Right.
That was a big thing. And also we live it, in our household, we live this, loved ones rejecting members of our household and the heartbreak that it causes. And I just didn't think I was equipped because I'm not a heartbreaker. So I'm like, I don't clearly have the range. I don't live like this.
Right.
I don't have anything in common with somebody like this. And Elegance said, it has to be you.
Wow.
And we know that you can do this.
Yeah.
And he just had a level of confidence in me that I didn't have in myself. And he was just very convincing, and I opted to believe him and try to dive in and take on the most challenging role of my career. And it was a major challenge, and it was dark trying to find common ground and finding it.
Yeah.
And that's something that I will be contending with for the rest of my life.
Well, I definitely want to reiterate that it was incredibly powerful. And during these conversations, I've had the opportunity to speak with Elegance and Jeremy about, advice that they would like to give those who are living in similar experiences as French. But when I was preparing for our conversation, I wanted to switch that level of advice. And I would love for you to share advice for parents similar to Inez. You know, like what words of encouragement or words of advice would you like to share with parents as they navigate relationships with their queer or non-binary children?
I think that a lot of parents don't think about the impact of their intention.
Yeah.
And their intention a lot of times is they do love their children, and their intention is to protect them. And they think by rejecting their children, they are preparing them, or by rejecting their children's identity, they are keeping it real, or they are adhering to their faith. But a lot of it is all rooted in fear of what is going to happen to their children. And Elegance said it best. He said, no one loved me more than my mother, but
Wow.
no one rejected me faster than my mother. No one hurt me deeper than my mother. And if parents understood the level of pain and trauma and heartache that their version of loving is causing, they should shift course. And to know that you can change on a dime. You do not have to stick with this line of behavior and thinking just because that's how you were raised, or that's what's being taught in your faith, or that's all you know. There is, now you know, and
Yeah.
there's another way. And to deny someone's identity, their very identity, is to deny them their humanity. And no parent's love should be inhumane.
Yeah.
Think of it that way. Do you want your love to be inhumane? And I don't know, and I think when Elegance said, it has to be you, you know,
Yeah.
at the time I took the role, his mother was alive.
Mhm.
And we got greenlit February 14th, 2020. And on February 18th, she passed.
Wow.
And all of that hope that he went into, thinking that if Gabrielle Union is playing my mother, she can't deny this. She can't deny me.
Oh my goodness.
She'll pick up the phone and reconnect. And they had been estranged for 18 years. And this movie was going to be the thing. And they ran out of time. And parents, you do not have all the time in the world to get it right with your kids. Tomorrow isn't promised. Get right with them. And the bar is on the damn floor. Like, to say, oh, can you love and accept your child? That is, the bar is on the floor. But start there if you haven't been there.
Yeah.
But love your children unapologetically, out loud. Move from acceptance to celebration. And I promise you, you won't die. I promise you, anyone that leaves your life should have been gone a long time ago. Any opportunity or anything that you think you might lose, you should have lost a long time ago, because it's not worth having. Your child, there's nothing more important. I mean, we all think of our children as our best gift, right? Don't deny your gift, your love. Don't starve that gift. I just don't think that parents who behave this way truly grasp the depths of misery and heartbreak that they cause. I really don't think I have to hope they don't understand the gravity. But for those who do understand and you still make those choices, karma got something for you. And I wouldn't want to be around for that. But for those of you who are just confused or scared for your children, no one's more afraid than your kids. And they're afraid of you. They're not, you know what I mean? The world is the world, and, but, I come from parents who felt they had to prepare me for life. But the way my father would speak and the things he would say to us to prepare us, nothing. I have not experienced anything that came close to that.
Mhm.
And you think about, yeah, I'm prepared. I stay in a position of I wish a MF would. Like, I'm
I
ready.
know. No, that's right.
And it rarely comes.
Yeah.
So all that happened was it created a distance
Mhm.
and a fear that didn't need to be there. And especially Black parents, and especially, well, Black and brown parents, from birth, from the time our children are born, we're looking at their ears, their nail beds to see how hard of a journey they're going to have.
Mhm.
That's just off of colorism alone and anti-Blackness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you were thinking about the path our children are taking, we generally speaking, decent parents, we feel like we want to, make the world a softer, more beautiful place for our children.
Mhm.
You know, we don't want them to fall. We don't want, we try to protect them,
Yeah.
and we don't. A lot of us don't realize that our protection is really putting our children in a cage where they're starved and choked off
Yeah.
from their own humanity. And why would you do that to your own child? Out of your fear or confusion or whatever. It's not worth it. It's never going to be worth it.
I agree 100%. And thank you so much for sharing that, because I mentioned this early, but I thank you so much for, you know, being that voice for so many that in the spaces of where we have yet to reach yet. Um, and it's just the advocacy work that you do, not only even for the LGBTQ plus community, but also women who've experienced domestic violence. It's so needed in this world. People need to see the faces of individuals who are fighting for the change in this world, and so I was going to say this to like the last part, because I have like one more question, but like on behalf of literally everyone around the world, Gab, like, thank you so much for being that voice. And if I could, and if I can speak for everyone, I'm sending you so much love, so many hugs, like just all the positive energy in the world, because just speaking as a gay man, I know my level of experience of hurt and pain that I've experienced, in the journey that I had with my parents and my family members. So it means so much to me. And I know if it means so much to me, it means so much to everyone around the world. So sincerely, thank you so much for what you do.
This is the least. It's the least I could do.
Most definitely. And so, woo, before we close, I love to include intentional conversations around the importance of mental health within communities of color. And so as we navigate like daily tasks and traveling and the demands of work, what are intentional ways that you nurture your mental health and well-being to ensure that you show up as your most authentic self each day?
First and foremost, all praise to my therapist who I'm
Listen.
joking that I'm sure she bought a second home off of all the therapy that I needed after the inspection, and that I'm still in, have been since 92. But I'm always speaking about the importance of therapy,
Yeah.
and whether you call it a counselor, a therapist, psychologist, whatever, your spiritual advisor, your guru, your priest, your pastor, just your going inward, a direct line, like whatever you do, do it, get it out, talk it out, write it out. There's been times where I've journaled. There's been times where I listen to, this is no ad, I just find her voice reasonable, Positive Affirmations with Josie Ong.
Come on now.
I don't know this woman. I just found her, and I'll listen to her talk about positive affirmations, or I'll look for meditations on YouTube. Again, like there's just days where you're like, I feel like I should meditate. I don't know what I'm doing. But there's a YouTube or a TikTok or an Instagram or something that will lead you to your people, to your community, to other folks that are searching for the similar things. But never feel alone. Even though, like, I'll say it, like I said it last week, I feel so isolated. I feel so alone in this. And I always have to remember that those feelings are temporary. And
Yes.
and the fact that I'm saying it to
Yes.
a room full of people, it's like, girl, like, you're not alone. These are, don't
Yeah.
ever negate your feelings. That's how you feel. Those are real feelings. But the ones that feel so dire that, like, it feels like you can't survive them.
Yeah.
You can. Don't make a permanent decision for something that I'm telling you is fleeting.
Mm.
And for those of us who suffer from longer term, depression, bipolar disorder, like, all of the things that are ongoing, there's always something else. There's always another avenue. A lot of us have been on this ride for a while, and like, my PTSD has been with me since, my rape. And it ebbs and flows, but there is a general thing that is, my PTSD it exists. It's been here for 30 years. And this year was my 30th anniversary. And I'm still discovering new things about that night due to disassociation. Didn't know. I thought I was on the path, child. And then worked on this other job with Octavia, and I realized that my brain had protected me for 30 years by not revealing everything.
Wow.
And yeah, and so I've had to almost like excavate the last 30 years of my life for what was real and what was my mind playing tricks on me, trying to protect me, right? And now that I'm 50, and I'm like, whoa, I might not have survived at 19 if I was aware of everything.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that between therapy and workman's comp kicked in, like, everything worked. Like, I can't say it didn't work out, but for those of us who don't have the means, don't have insurance, don't have access, don't know where to go, y'all, like, TikTok will help you find all kinds of things. And one of those things is a therapist. One of those things, meditation. One of those things, like the how-to of journaling. So many different avenues of getting the help that you need, even if you don't have a thing. There's always ways of getting the help that you need, low and no cost. Therapy. But just know that you're never alone and that your feelings are real. No one can take that from you. That's your truth. That's, but don't ignore it.
100. I love that. Thank you so much for your vulnerability, for sharing in this space with me. I truly appreciate it. And it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you about this film. Congratulations again to everyone, the cast and crew, on such a beautiful production. And to our friends watching, please head over to your nearest theater to check out The Inspection. It is available now. Go see it tomorrow. Go see it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It is absolutely amazing. And Gab, thank you again for being in this space with me, and I hope you have a very, very peaceful rest of your week.
No, thank you, babe. It's so good to see you. I love the work that you're doing. I love the man that you've become. So thank you.
Thank you. It truly means a lot. Truly. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon.